it's like when one person's scared of the bug and one person
Exactly.
Oh, that's so
like you think men aren't scared of bugs? Of course they are. But like if your girlfriend is more scared and is scared first, now you have to not be scared of the bug. That's just how it goes.
Can I say something brave?
You're the one
Kevin's
who
scared of bugs.
I'd be killing the bugs.
Hey. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Limousine, the podcast. Yeah. Wow. We're back with another episode of the Anna Karenina book club. Say that. It's part 5. What's crazy is that like every time I think we've done the juiciest one, it's like, but wait, there's more.
I totally forget. Like I forget. You forget how much happens in the book. I mean, obviously it's a lot of pages, so it makes sense. But then you get to a new section and you're like, wait, I forgot there was another twist after that.
Like he loved to do a little bit of plot.
He loved this plot.
He could not be stopped.
That's why this is so like soapy. It's so telenovela. Like it's just when you think it's over, there's another twist.
Mm-hmm. It's big time daytime soap vibes.
Oof.
You know?
Wow. So get ready for that.
Get ready. But before we get into that, Leah, can I ask, what happened in your week as a writer?
Well, thanks for asking, Heather. I didn't know that was coming at all.
Yeah.
I as we discussed, I had some like kind of random boring things happen in my week as a writer. Mm-hmm. I mean, not boring, but you know, some freelance assignments, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I wrote. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, that's the truth of it. I wrote, and we were thinking we'd do a little something new if we don't have anything exciting.
Yeah, guys, Leah and I were talking about how, we didn't have that much happen this week. And I was like, I just foresee that happening for me a lot in the coming weeks. So we were thinking that on the weeks when we have nothing to report, I don't even know if this is a gift or a punishment to us for having nothing to report.
It's a punishment. It's actually a punishment. That's so true.
But
this is a great accountability mechanism. We're going to force ourselves to like write a ton and like have exciting weeks because we don't want to share this embarrassing
what we're gonna have to share, which is Leah and I each keep a thoughts doc on our phones. It's a notes app doc. What do you call it? A notes app note?
A notes app note? Yeah, a note. Yeah. A note?
Yeah, a note even.
Notes app list
within the notes app.
Yeah, perhaps all of those seem like functional terms.
Yeah. And I honestly think everybody has something like this, but it was only after we took crit that I consolidated it into one doc that I was like, okay, let me just call this thoughts.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And it has changed my life, honestly.
Has it?
Because before, like I would have these missives and I would have them in all different notes. And I would think like, oh, that'd be interesting. Or I'd overhear something and I'd write it down and then I would never know where to find them, or like they would kind of like shoot off into the night and I'd miss them.
No, truly, why did it never occur to me to just put them all in one?
There's simply until Tony said it. Until Tony said it, I had no idea I could do this. But I do want to kind of, I mean, hopefully you can't zoom in, but this is my scroll. This is my scroll. Like,
sorry, I can't even do that because I'm like someone who cares is gonna pause as if anybody gives a shit. Like
no, I'm like please don't pause because there's such embarrassing things in here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
But I return to this all the time when I'm like stuck in a scene, when I kind of don't know where something's going, but like I think there's something related to it. In a piece of fiction, I go to the thoughts doc, the thoughts note, and I pull something in.
Yeah, and it can be observations, little jokes. You like finally thought of the perfect way to phrase something, or just like something came into your head. You pop it in the notes doc. It's not too complicated. You guys know what we mean.
You have one. You surely have your own. Come on.
Yeah. So basically, we decided that if, like, whenever we don't have anything to report from our week as a writer, we will read one entry from the thoughts doc.
Heather, are you ready? Yeah. Can you share with me? Can you share with me your thought of the week?
Okay. This is, I don't know when I put this in. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's something that happened to me or just something I thought of. I don't know what the hell I thought I was going to use this for. but it just says perfect social interaction with the Sephora lady, so you can never go back, so it can never be ruined. What?
In a way, I relate to that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Because it's like, it's always horrible.
Right.
So what if one time it was perfect?
And then you can't go back and ruin
And then
that.
you're like, I have to quit now. Like,
I gotta leave. I have to leave. I have to quit while I'm up.
That's genius. That's a work of genius. I can't wait to see how you use that.
How I use that one day. Leah, what do you have to share with the people from your Thoughts app? Thoughts app notes. You know.
Okay. Okay. This is, I hope that whoever this is not listening. I was on the Metro North train and I was eavesdropping on an incredible conversation. And I was taking notes on the conversation. I'm sorry. That's kind of what this is for. Okay. This says, guy who's obviously gay talks about getting the ick from a woman he's seeing because she loves musicals too much. She's on Broadway.
Oh no.
He's talking to his friends about how this girl he's seeing is literally, she's in a Broadway musical. And he's like, I'm just getting the ick because it's like, why are you so into musicals? And I'm sorry to say, but this is a gay man who is speaking about this.
He was jealous.
He was jealous. It was an unbelievably layered interaction that I just loved everything about it, and I had to write it down.
Wow. Powerful. Okay. Incredible. Wow, guys, if you're listening and you managed to do something with either of those little thought scraps, let us know.
No, seriously, please. And also maybe share some of your own. I mean, if anyone wants to get vulnerable, I know people have these lists of just like random observations, and we want to see them. We are desperate for them.
Desperate. Okay. Now that that's aside, Leah, have you consumed anything that you want to share with the listeners?
I actually have, and I have to say I've been reading like a maniac a little bit. I've been I've been locking into my reading. I watched, oh my gosh, side note, I watched a disturbing ass movie, but also beautiful last night. The Cook, the Thief, his wife and her lover.
Okay. And
I don't want to spoil it, but I'll just say you see a lot of...
Ooh, I'm about to get to typing.
You better get to typing. You're going to see a lot of naked Helen Mirren in the 80s. Huh. And that's kind of incredible. Or 90s? I mean, it might be later than that. Some beautiful Renaissance painting kind of shots. And then some of the most disturbing things you've ever seen at the end, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Okay. That's kind of the only memorable.
An hour and a half long.
It's tight.
That's so interesting.
It's tight. Okay. You could do it. You could do it tonight.
Wow. I won't. But...
And don't torture yourself. But that's kind of the only memorable thing I watched. I've been reading a lot. I just finished This Is How You Lose Her. Junot Diaz. Come on. We've got a lot to talk about. I mean, let's kind of tap into that journey. There's a lot to say. I'd never read any Lily King. Have you read any Lily King?
No, I started Writers and Lovers once a long time ago and didn't really go that far.
So
it was a rare DNF for me.
I had started like some ebook version of it and just not, it had been like kind of like, oh, whatever. Great audiobook, I gotta say.
Oh,
it's like a nice, like if you're on a walk and you're like, oh, that's like a nice little like, it's just like she's dating, she's writing and loving. And I think, if you just need some background kind of like audiobook, I would recommend. And then the last thing is I finished The Wilderness by Angela Flournoy, which was really great, really fun. And excited for all of the accolades it's getting. Well deserved.
Oh. Okay.
Heather.
Did you want to ask me anything?
Yeah, Heather, what are you wearing tonight?
What?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
What?
Yeah,
what
throwing you off. No.
My page break hoodie. Hello.
That was my fake out question. My real question is, what did you consume this week that you want to share with the people?
Well, great question. I finished Lost in the City, which I loved. I thought it was
so excited to read it.
I watched half of, and this is why I can't watch The Cook, The Thief, etc. tonight, because I have to watch the other half.
It's giving The Cook, The Thief, etc. Why did they name it so many? You know, it's like
I don't
the
know.
Cook,
I was hoping. So what?
It's what? Sorry to make like this niche Jewish reference, but anyone out there who has played Chad Gad Yah, it's really that. It's like, how am I supposed to remember all these things? Like, come on. That made no sense.
Couldn't tell you. Yeah. But I was just wondering. I was like wondering if like watching the movie made it clearer.
I mean, yeah, but it's like I have to remind myself, oh, there was this, and this. Like,
sure. Yeah.
Okay, but what did you watch?
I randomly watched half of The Phantom Thread, which I'll watch the other half tonight. But I know it's like everybody's favorite movie ever, and so I've always been like, okay, I have to watch this at some point. Randomly, and like halfway through me watching the movie, I realized this. I was like, I started a sewing class today, and I'm like, something in my soul like moved me to start watching that movie last night.
It's almost
without me realizing the synergy.
Sorry, but it's almost like there's a phantom thread in your life. Like,
no, say that. It's almost
like it's almost like you found the phantom thread, like
tying those things together. Exactly.
Kind of stitching them together in ways you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so, is it good? I never.
It's good, and honestly, if it weren't for my sewing class, I would have finished it because I was like really immersed. But I was like, I actually have to sleep and wake up, and that's going to be tough.
Well, when art imitates life.
No, exactly that. And yeah, I read a bunch of workshop submissions because I skipped workshop to go to the US Open. So I have 2 workshops worth of submissions to read. So I'm like reading those. I have a question. When you're in workshop, do you read submissions twice or just once?
Do you read submissions twice? Do you read, like if I'm reading the story? I don't always do 2 reads. But I usually do. I think mostly because I'll get like really excited to finish reading it once I get into it, kind of thing, and then forget to make any notes, and then I'll go back through and make the notes. But if I'm like in a rush, then I'll just do 1 read. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. What are your feelings? Is it like proper to do 2?
I think I feel the same as you. Like, I think it's proper to do 2, but if I don't have the time, I'm just doing 1. And
you gotta just do 1. You gotta do a quickie. Sometimes you gotta do a quickie.
Yeah.
But if you're into something, this is what happens to me sometimes is I maybe this is like a really embarrassing thing to admit. So I guess, people let me know. But sometimes in the mornings when I'm playing on my phone, I'll wake up early, play on my phone a little, open my email, then I'll see somebody sent me something. And if it's short, I'll read it on my phone and be loving it and having fun.
Right.
And you simply can't do a critique.
Lock in that way.
No. You can't do a critique like that. So sometimes my first read is like on my phone scrolling along and having fun.
A cutie fun one, and then
Exactly.
Yeah.
Second one is kind of the scribble.
Exactly that. Well,
but we can't always be perfect. Sometimes it's just as fast as we can make it.
Say that. Well,
something that was not as fast as we could
I was gonna say this podcast not as fast as we could. They could have been faster.
Look, I hope that's fun, and there's something exciting waiting around the corner for you all to see visually.
Yeah, no, that's so true. There are exciting visuals ahead. Wait, yeah, guys, tell us if you like super long podcasts, if you're like into that, or if you are like, sorry, I just had to kill an insect. Whether you like, kill that insect.
Kill him. Kill him.
Good one.
Yeah.
Kill him. No, exactly.
Timely reference.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love
Only
that.
10 years late. Got him.
Yeah, some of our younger listeners wouldn't understand.
No, literally, our younger listeners are like, what? Yeah. Actually. Oh, do we have to link out to that? Or?
Yeah, listen, I'll add it. I don't even care. I'll add it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's our intro, and we have a gorgeous show coming up with Grace Byron, talking about part 5 of Anna Karenina. Hope you guys love it.
Enjoy.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, guys.
Wow. I mean, really,
Okay,
wow.
Jinx. Yeah, no, but wow, in a big way.
Welcome back to Limousine.
Guys, look at us, you know?
Do you even recognize us?
Just on our way up,
we
you know?
probably, like, you can see pores that you didn't know existed before. I mean, you can see things on our faces that you didn't even know were real. And we have a guest
And they're not.
you might recognize.
Well, maybe you won't recognize her because she has those sunglasses on.
You know.
She's actually
Is
in
she-
disguise right now.
I'm disguised as Joy Williams.
Some people can pull that off, and we think our guest today can't.
Well, we have a term for it, cuntified. That
Say that.
We were
It sounds-
debating, there's many kinds of beauty. One is being cuntalicious,
cuntalicious.
or you could be gorgeous.
Well, okay, so it
or
sounds
beautiful, or like fun.
fun. Well, and it sounds like I'm getting fun. So these two agreed that they were cunty and could pull off the glasses.
We didn't say you couldn't pull off glasses. We never said you couldn't pull
And
off
I
glasses.
never implied that I could. I said I could not pull off glasses. Okay.
Let the record show.
Let the record reflect.
Okay. Well, okay. So just two things to acknowledge. One is that we are in a new studio with lots of bright lights, which is why our incredible guest. Second thing to acknowledge, Grace Byron is wearing those sunglasses.
It's really bright in here.
It's so bright.
And
Welcome,
Heather was like, "Are you
Grace.
hungover?" And
Yeah.
it's just I have sensitive eyes.
Well,
And that's
third thing to
powerful.
acknowledge is another reason you could be wearing those glasses is because you're about to be a celebrity.
Not
Say
a
that.
A celebrity should be
Say
wearing
that.
those glasses because we have an amazing early copy
Yeah,
of
they just came in.
Herculine. Herculine is out in October. Are you ready?
Yeah, for sure. I'm terrified, but I'm excited. And we're going to go on tour, which is going to be really fun.
Love.
And we're going to have an event at the Strand, which is going to be really fun. And Tori Peters is going to be doing that. And then we're going to have a party at KGB.
We're excited.
So-
Party girls, get ready.
I feel like when there's like events, it'll feel really cool. I also was saying to you, like, there's nothing left to do anymore.
Yeah, except
So
to
I'm
just
kind of
enjoy
like-
the ride.
And yes.
And yes.
And in addition, we're trying.
Throw up your hands and get on the roller coaster of life.
Say that.
We're on
That's
the
what
roller
I.
coaster
That's
of life.
and I always say that.
We're saying that. I haven't ridden a roller coaster in I do not know how long.
Same.
Well, except for this one, the ride of
the
your
ride
book.
of fame.
Exactly. We cannot
Literary
recommend this book enough.
Pain.
Yeah, we're gonna leave links to every relevant thing. So pre-order link, Grace's Instagram,
Substack.
upcoming events. They'll all be in the episode links. They'll just magically appear there.
AnnaKarenina.com.
Exactly.
Slash-
Yeah.
slash-
Glamour / outfit inspo.
Yep, that's the one. Okay.
Well, if you don't know more about Grace Byron, we won't go into your full backstory as a writer today. You can go listen to our past interview with her.
That's so
Two.
true.
Too. Well,
Don't
plus,
forget.
don't forget. You're our first
I am a reader.
three-peat. You're our first three-peat. Our silent third, Grace
Three-peat,
Byron.
Silent third. That sounds so menacing. Every time you say that, it sounds like Silent Hill, or like it doesn't sound good.
It sounds like you're a VC backer or something.
Totally. And in the way, which I am,
You definitely are.
with $0.
Yeah, and so in that way,
Emotional.
I'm not.
Emotional money.
in that way, we could use another.
Yeah. If you're out there, hey sponsors.
Hey. We know Grace from Crit.
Grit.
Crit Works. We met.
Which
in that
is, and
workshop.
honestly, I was starting writing Herculine in that time period when we met.
Powerful. Incredible.
You know?
Isn't it
And now here
amazing?
we are.
And now here it is.
I went back because I interviewed Grace for Bomb, and I went back in my email to find her first submission to Crit, and I found literally the short story that became Herculine.
Was it the first one that I sent?
Yeah.
No, it was the second.
I feel like it was the second.
Oh, maybe it was the second.
Because I remember the first one was the short story that everybody in the class was like, this should be a novel, and we both said no.
Oh.
You said, I don't think this is a novel. Oh. And I said that I don't think it should be either. Like, it was a positive thing.
Yeah.
And
The
then,
second one was female
and then
small
the
business
second
owner?
one was
Yeah.
the thing that became the first chapter of
My
the book.
bad. Okay,
Yeah.
that is what I did find, though.
And then
found
I
the
was
right
like,
one.
no, this should be a novel. And I think people were like, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy to
is
see it
crazy.
from then to now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel lucky
We've
to be
all
around.
lived many lives since then.
So many. But speaking of someone who's lived a lot of lives,
Oh my gosh.
so many lives in this section alone.
God.
Grace, we
Part
have
five.
been asking every guest on the Anna Karenina book club what their relationship to this book is. And we have to ask you the same question. When did you first read Anna Karenina? And do you have any special connection to the book?
Yeah, I love Anna Karenina. I also am a huge Tolstoy fan and Russian literature fan in general. I feel like it was maybe 2021 when I first read Anna Karenina, so it's not like it's been such a long time since I first encountered the book. I think as a kid, my mom, like, I remember the Penguin Classics edition and she read it. And I was like, okay, one day I'll read that. But in like high school, I read like...
Like this? Was this cover?
No.
Different?
Older. More
Wow.
More beautiful.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, it's like the yellow Penguin Classics kind.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Um,
yeah.
Beautiful.
And
Oh, you mean it wasn't this beautiful one?
I hate that cover. I hate that cover.
That cover is so upsetting. And like if you look for
so
the
ugly. It's so clip art.
It looks so sexual,
tough.
too, for
It's-
some reason.
Well,
Like,
it looks like an ass.
yeah.
What is it?
I don't know what body part is on this
It's a
cover.
shoulder, maybe.
It-
I think it's a shoulder.
Or
But
two
then is it, like,
shoulders?
Two
shoulders, yeah.
shoulders touching.
Or
They're hugging.
knees? Someone's knees follows in lap?
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But when you look for the Pavirin Volokhonsky translation.
Well, I didn't read that translation. Is also part of
Right.
why, which we were talking about.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's the cover that comes up first, which is so
Yeah.
upsetting, and then you have to like dig for this one. But these are like the two that
Yeah.
are on offer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I feel like in 2021, I was in the house, as many of us were, and I was reading any woman suffering novel, like just like novels about women suffering.
Yeah.
So I was reading like Jane Eyre for the first time. I was reading Anna Karenina. I was reading, I don't know. I was reading a lot of like Nabokov. I was which there's not as many women suffering in Nabokov,
But in certain ways.
in certain ways.
And men suffering.
And
It's mostly
sometimes
men
little girls suffering.
and
And little
sometimes little
girls.
girls. But I didn't read Lolita during that year. I only recently read Lolita for the first time, and that was
Yeah.
upsetting.
It's
but
really
It is a
upsetting.
good book.
Yeah.
It's my opinion.
It's hard to...
So, and I read like Madame Bovary and shit. And then like, but in high school I had read like the Kreutzer Sonata, and I had tried to read a Tolstoy biography, and like I had read shorts because he like was crazy Christian anarchist, which I, as a young Christian, was like fascinated by.
Wow.
So I read a bunch of his like weird parables and like his religious texts, but he was a horrible misogynist. Because if
Yeah,
you read Andrea Dworkin, you know, if you read Intercourse, she does this.
famously completely uncontroversial.
Another uncontroversial
If
person.
you,
Okay, but
if
she
you read
was
a stable genius.
Speaking of stable queens,
Yes.
but she wrote this whole section about the Kreutzer Sonata because the Kreutzer Sonata is about a guy who murders his wife and is like so happy about it and like getting away with it, and she's like textbook misogyny, and then she sort of like goes through Tolstoy's life and is like he was being really fucked up to his wife, even though he was supposed to be this like great suffering Christian. So I only bring all that up because I do think it's like relevant to reading his thoughts about, because like this is also sort of like one of his bigger works about womanhood,
Very
as
much.
opposed to like War and Peace, which is a little bit more ensemble.
I mean, he was always a misogynist. That was always on the table.
Yeah, I think that there's some people who debate whether or not like towards the very, very end of his life he sort of mellowed out, but like I believe he did like beat his wife. Like he was a pretty like textbook like
Interesting.
actually bad dude in some ways,
The biography.
but also genius. incredible writer.
Genius,
Down.
you
Can
know?
we say?
Absolute genius.
Amazing
We can say
writer.
that.
Let's give it up.
Amazing
Hey,
writer.
Let's give it up for the
Three
writing.
gals with different tastes are saying
So-
Yeah,
the
yeah.
man was a genius.
Three gals with
Yeah.
a wide range of tastes.
Yeah.
Really love this book. And it is true. It is such a tome on womanhood in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
written by a misogynist. And yet it gets like
And yet
a
it
lot
doesn't always feel misogynist to me.
Yeah.
It also sort of is critiquing the culture of misogyny.
Yes.
sometimes.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it's like a classic case of like, you can see it when you write it, but when it's your own
It's
life.
unreal.
Yeah.
It always,
Kind of
God,
amazing.
guys, that gets me every time.
It's
Like you
frustrating.
can see it, but you can't live it. Wow.
I mean, so many greats are guilty of it.
Oh, right. Well, and he was wealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
he's
and
also
that-
writing about not being wealthy.
Yeah.
So I
So,
think,
yeah,
these sort
so
of
true.
tensions are baked in.
Right. These thoughts about like serfdom and
Yeah.
like kind of
was an
peasantry.
idealist.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. God, yeah. I mean, those are great points to bring up thinking about this section and like how much is in there about like, well, obviously marriage, but like
Yeah.
women's responsibilities, like what a woman should
Moving
be.
around in the public space.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Women's
I mean,
special powers.
the special powers
special
of women.
powers. The special healing powers that a woman is just innately, bestowed with.
Yeah.
Yeah. This section has everything.
It has it all.
Should we get into it?
I think we should get into it.
Let's begin.
Okay.
So where do we start?
So we start with Levin and Kitty, who I think we find out in this section her full name is Ekaterina, right? Love that for her. They're about to get married and they're really excited.
Kissing a bit. It's
Yeah.
kind of giving that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have this like beautiful like kind of plans for the wedding. They're so excited. Levin is still in this mode of life where he's like, I literally think everything is amazing and I like see the best in everyone that I used to hate. Like everyone that used to bother me, I'm like, so I don't even care because I'm about to get married.
Yeah. Yeah. He's loving life. They're getting everything ready for the wedding. And
But then he goes to confession.
oh yeah, he's like
Have either of you been to confession?
I've never.
Really?
No.
I haven't either.
Oh,
To be clear.
well, yeah.
Okay, easier question to answer. Have either of you been to mass?
Yes, I have.
I have. All the kneeling.
On
God.
kneeling. Have you been to mass?
I don't remember kneeling in a church ever.
Well, I didn't.
I've gone to
kneel.
like Why
Should we cut that?
He was like, yeah, all the kneeling.
Wait,
Yeah.
what did you just say?
I didn't kneel.
You're supposed to kneel.
I know, but I was like, I'm Jewish. I'm here, for a funeral, wedding,
I
etc.
wasn't Catholic and I kneeled.
Yeah, but I was like, it's like such a thing.
We have a lot of friends who are very Catholic who are going to be.
I'm sorry.
me
I'm so sorry to the Catholics. I didn't mean to, but
Did you take the wafer?
No, of course I didn't take communion.
Oh.
No, I don't think they'd want me to, right?
I thought fake it till you make it.
I mean, Dana can back me up after this, but can you give us a thumbs up?
To be
from the-
clear, my boyfriend is in the studio with us.
Yes.
Kind of a Patreon subscriber plus.
Yes.
yeah.
Friend of
Limited
the pod.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
Also Jewish, to be
Yeah.
clear, for
Yeah.
the sake of this story.
That's necessary.
My
I'm
question
converting.
is
You heard it here first.
And we can't wait.
that's huge.
So I should not take the communion wafer next time.
No, don't
Damn.
kneel next time,
Powerful. Is mass like strictly Catholic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've gone to like Christmas, like midnight mass or like a Christmas thing before with like
Sure.
family friends, but I don't know if I ever. Is communion strictly Catholic?
Communion
Yes.
is not strictly Catholic. No.
It isn't, right? Yeah, because I feel like
Let me
I did
school
that
you
more
on
than
that.
once.
Wow, wait, I'm in Christian school now. I'm learning so much.
Bible school.
Yeah, I'm like
Listen
sitting
and
down
learn.
to.
Sunday
Although
school.
VBS.
they should be Russian Orthodox, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
They
Which
are.
is very which is similar and like has like a lot of the same rituals as Catholic.
Huh.
Yeah, like they're not Protestant.
But yeah, I've never confessed.
Me neither.
It
Maybe it
seems
would be
nice.
good for me.
I have been to therapy though, so
I was literally
I've
gonna
been
say
to Christian
therapy is like
That's
what?
the closest. Yeah. Girl, you know this.
I don't know why I said what like that.
yeah,
I
like
guess
you're
that
the biggest surprises.
I'm just like, wow, I can't believe someone would bring religion into psychoanalysis, and I'm like, of course they would.
No,
Yeah,
no,
all the
literally.
time.
We just said how similar confession and therapy are.
I'm like,
We're
that's obscene to me.
Why would
And
they
I'm
do that?
Yeah. Well, so anyway, yeah. So basically, Levin has to confess and do the sacraments before he can get married in a church, and he's like fine, I guess I'll do that. But he just feels weird about it because he doesn't really believe in God. So it's awkward for him.
And then
This is what I'm saying. Just take the wafer.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Some
Take the
people
communion
just
wafer.
go
It doesn't
through,
matter.
Just go through the ritual,
Go through the ritual.
of it and don't
doesn't
think too
matter.
hard.
Like
Levin
if you're
is
Jewish
not
and
built
you
like
take
that.
Levin-
That's not how Levin is built.
Honestly-
because he's like a political rude.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of just like, I take this thing is obviously serious to other people, so
He's
I'm
a
gonna
serious
take
guy.
it. Yeah, he's a serious
for sure.
guy. Yeah, so he's like, even though I don't believe in this stuff,
But he's the guy you don't want to talk to at the party.
Yes, I agree with that.
I agree with that.
But
too.
this is where I feel for him.
He's a punisher.
I feel for him hardcore because he says to the priest, he's like, I've doubted stuff. Like he's like taking the rite seriously, even though like you're right, he could just go through the motion,
No,
but instead
he's
like
he would not do that. He has principles, and I
Or-
apparently don't.
No,
So-
This is what he like. He has these principles that he will like not under any circumstances violate. He says he tried to look at it as meaningless, as the meaningless, empty custom, like the custom of paying visits, but he felt he could not do that either. With regard to religion, Levin, like most of his contemporaries, was in a very uncertain position. He could not believe, yet at the same time, he was not firmly convinced that it was all incorrect, and therefore, being unable either to believe in the meaningfulness of what he was doing or to look at it indifferently as at an empty formality, he experienced all through this time of preparation a feeling of awkwardness and shame at doing what he himself did not understand, and therefore, as his inner voice kept telling him, something false and bad. He's just like, yeah, he can't relax.
he's like
As
I'm about to
we've
be
said.
lying to this priest if
That's fact.
and I get that. Like I actually think that is a timeless feeling of religion. Is like
I wish
don't
I
know.
had been able to lie as a kid though about
Yeah.
religion.
for
to
sure.
Be like, yeah, cool. I'm gonna go do my thing.
Right. No, but you know, when you're like Levin, a serious
Moral
person.
OCD.
Yeah, exactly. You feel like, oh, everything is that deep. And so he does. He actually he kind of has this like nice moment with the priest and at least like is able to get some like good advice about marriage from him.
Yeah.
And he kind of leaves there happy and ready to get married.
Yeah.
But then
Well, oh yeah, he has like a weird wobble where he is like,
even the most serious and happy man alive who says he's never going to be upset about anything again can have a wobble, it turns out.
Yeah, he's like, wait, I actually think that I might not be good enough for Kitty.
yeah.
How
like,
much of the book is also about like ambivalence within like long-term committed partnerships and like the need to have like emotional space for that?
Say that.
That's so real.
That is actually, I think, one of the pieces of the book that is like the most current or the most like so many. We've had a lot of friends in Discord say like it's weird how timely and relevant this book is, and I do think like that question that's very present in this section in both relationships is like, how do I make a long-term relationship work? You know?
Well, I think that
Actually-
there's this way where people think commitment means like finality or like everything is good now. And I think like this book is also sort of undoing like marriage as like the final like act, like in a book, like in so many books, right? Marriage is the last thing. Even like, you know, right before this book came out.
I mean,
like Jane Eyre ends with a marriage. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Shakespeare ends with a marriage. Like
Yeah, no, totally. And like you see that a lot in this section because Levin, in the narrative of his life, had thought of marriage as the end.
Yeah.
And like when they're in their honeymoon stage and he's like, oh, we're still gonna fight sometimes and we're gonna have disagreements and like I'm still gonna have to go and like work on my book. Like he's just like
he's like,
so
what?
yeah, guys.
That sounds like me.
After we marry, we will have to continue
Continue
to work
working
on
on
our
our
book.
No.
Um,
I thought that was gonna be over.
no, we're gonna continue to work on
three
our
unmarried
books.
women said.
Yeah.
To be clear.
But yeah, so yeah, totally.
I also think like I don't even know if it's necessarily undoing the idea that like marriage is the end goal. I feel like it's his like
Not that. No, I think
Yeah.
it's just like talking about what happens after.
yes, yeah,
Like-
exactly.
A story about something else.
And also interestingly, like also getting out of your bad marriage and like following the person you're madly in love with, also not the end.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
No, for
running
sure.
off into the distance
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
lover is not the end either.
Right. Well, the ending of one marriage is the beginning of something else, but that's not the end of something else.
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. Well, it's about to be the beginning of something else, but Levin goes to Kitty while she's kind of like packing up her dresses and like getting ready to like you know, give things away and move into his house. And he's like, basically like on his hands and knees being like, I can't look at you. I'm suffering. Like, I'm not good enough for you. Like, why would you ever want to be with me? Like, I'm an awful cow.
And she's like, oh my God, like, what are you trying to say to me? She's like, what are you saying? She's like, you're saying you don't want to get married? And then she starts crying. And then he's like, oh no, not she's crying. And then they make up. Cool.
She's like, you're out of your mind. It's like, but beautiful lovers quarrel where, you know, you're both
ugly
just like
ones too.
Yeah. And ugly ones too.
But he literally is like, why would you love me? Tell me exactly why. And she like tells him all the reasons that she loves him.
And that immediately makes him feel better.
Well, that's love.
Yeah.
That's love. You're like, do you love me? Well,
yeah.
why?
Yeah. That's insecure attachment.
Do you think so? I don't think necessarily.
Sometimes you do need words of affirmation.
Sometimes you're like, why do you love me?
Yeah.
And it's not like, I don't know.
I think he genuinely is like, why do you love me?
Yeah.
Like, he's genuinely curious. Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't believe that she would.
He's like, I'm boring.
I feel like that comes from I don't know. That's an interesting place for things to come from. Like, he thinks
I don't
he's not
feel the need
lovable.
to put this current language on.
Whoa,
this
attachment
boat, but-
styles.
Oh, what about the attachment
Interesting.
styles? No, I'm joking. I don't really
know,
know
I
that
know, I
much
know.
about the attachment styles, but like,
Oh, come on. We all know about the attachment style.
well,
We know because we read Instagram.
well, it's kind of in
because
the
we're-
name, you know, like anxiously
Yeah.
attached. Like, I know what that
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Avoidant. Yeah. But
regular.
I do see, like, I don't know if this is a problematic take for some reason. I kind of am like, for a man to be asking that, wrong. For a woman to be asking that, totally fair and valid.
Confirmed problematic.
Yeah. JK, I will always tell my loving boyfriend why I love him because it's the reasons are
I think we
infinite.
take turns.
Yeah.
So
No,
true.
it's so true. But
Men
it's
need
funny
love
for
too.
Levin, who's like so, I don't know, like serious and like, you know, supposed to be this like manly guy, but also obviously makes
Well,
the most sense for
Yeah,
him because
yeah.
he's like
nothing can make more sense to me.
neurotic and
so
anxious and
true.
like just needs to hear it.
Yeah.
Just
outright.
needs to hear a little pick me up.
Little
Yeah.
pick me up.
So then there's a wedding.
There's
Yeah.
a big ass wedding
in a church.
with a crowd of people outside.
Yeah, they're like fans outside.
Well, I
like,
think that's the thing that's crazy about these books is they're all celebrities.
yeah.
Like in a like he kind of cares about this like okay, so everybody cares about these people in the town for some reason in like
Yeah.
Moscow, like in this
Yeah.
huge city, and like they are famous. Like,
I keep forgetting it, you know? You're like, you feel like you're reading this very like domestic, like, you know, internal
but there's like princes
narrative.
and princesses and
Exactly.
like manners and
Diplomacy and like, you know, court-ordered
they have
military
big jobs.
service.
They're
Yeah.
not, you know, the bottom of the
order.
totem.
Court-assigned military service. But they do end up having this wedding. They started out, Kitty's there, but Levin has a little bit of a snag once again. I'm like, this man cannot do shit right on his wedding day. Like, first he
Yeah.
has cold feet. Now he's in the wrong shirt.
Yeah, he basically, like, everybody's in the church, and they're, like, all just, like, sitting there, like, it's taking a long time, and then they're like, it's, like, really taking a long time, and, like, then everybody starts, like, whispering and gossiping or whatever, because they're waiting to see, like, when, they're like, where is the groom? And then we find out that he basically, honestly, it's not even really on him, it's on his servant, Kuzma, who was supposed to bring him his shirt, and didn't. He brought him everything but the shirt. And then they were like, okay, we'll go out and buy a shirt, but it's Sunday, so the stores are closed. So then they were like, okay, you can wear Oblonsky's shirt, but that was too short and wide for Levin.
I loved that part. I also love the part. So Levin's like been wearing like a dress shirt, but it's like wrinkly and like it's been on him all day and it doesn't go with the suit. And so he's like, where's the shirt? And his servant's like, you're wearing it.
Crazy as hell. Just crazy for me.
His servant goes, the shirt is on you.
Like, he didn't just forget the shirt. He didn't bring it on purpose. Because
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
like, Levin already has a shirt.
Like, you have a
which is
shirt on.
So crazy.
But also somehow like it is like the perfect kind of like class symbol between them because it's like the servant's like, of course you have a shirt. Why would you need another? Like,
he's also like, this is also, not only is it wrinkled and he's been wearing it, but it's like not the
style.
right style. It's not the style of the time. He's like, it's an open front shirt.
Yeah,
Which, honestly, I might go and look up what these different shirts were supposed to look like, or like, or guys, if somebody is an expert,
no,
in-
fashion designers,
comments.
please get
Get
in
work.
get in the comments.
yeah, let us know. But yeah, finally, eventually he does get the right shirt.
He runs back, gets it before they put it on the train to the countryside. And 3 minutes later, I loved this line. 3 minutes later, not looking at his watch so as not to rub salt into the wound, Levin went running down the corridor. Because how many of us have been there?
Oh yeah, where you're late and you're like,
I cannot look at the time because it'll make me feel more shit.
Yeah, the shame will make me.
I'm compulsively checking. I'm looking.
But you're always early.
Bleeding.
Yeah, you are.
Well,
early.
yeah. So when I'm not, I'm.
Yeah, you have to look. No, you have to salt the wound.
Say that. So then they get married and they honestly just love each other so much.
It is kind of like a sweet scene.
It's really sweet.
Where it feels like it's almost cinematic because we're like rolling around, like panning around to different characters who are there watching them get married. And people are like thinking about their own like weddings and their own love stories. Like we get a little back and forth between like Stiva being crazy as hell, like winking and like trying not to smile and like distract from this very somber, religious experience. And then we get Dolly, who's like, forgetting all about his cheating ass and kind of like having this romantic view of marriage once again.
Yeah, all of the women like in the church are just thinking about like, God, I'm remembering the time when I got married. I was like comically in love with my husband, like how funny and like all of this stuff.
How silly of me.
Silly, how foolish. But they're all feeling kind of united in this moment, like, oh, remember when,
There's another part.
Sorry, I was just gonna say it's not like purely like romanticized either. They're also like, God, it was so scary and like I had no idea what I was getting into or like whatever. But they're just reminiscing on being young.
They're all like reminiscing in that way, and I think even in, you're right, like the way that it is romanticized, there's also like some of the very real like imbalance, I guess, portrayed in what they're feeling about each other. Like there's a part where they're kind of like saying their vows and Levin looks into her eyes, into Kitty's eyes, and is like, does she feel the same way that I do? And he looks into her eyes and he's like, yes, she does. And Tolstoy immediately is like, that wasn't true at all. He's like, by the look in those eyes, he concluded that she understood it as he did. But that was not so. She had almost no understanding of the words of the service and did not even listen during the betrothal. She was unable to hear and understand them. So strong was the one feeling that filled her soul and was growing stronger and stronger. So it's almost like this thing of like pure like emotion that they're registering on different levels that I thought was like both romantic but also kind of believable.
I also think the feeling that she's feeling, I can't remember where I like can't find it now, but I feel like the feeling that she was feeling that was growing stronger is relief, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. She's the feeling of like, oh my God, a weight off my shoulders. It's not just like, oh, I'm so happy to marry this man. It's like, I'm getting married. Didn't think it was gonna happen.
Yeah, she's like, she's obviously been so stressed. Like people are talking about how she's lost her beauty because she's like because she lost so much weight. So she's just like excited for this to. I mean, also she's in love, et cetera, and it's like a beautiful day and she's happy to see Levin, but she's also just like this thing that has been
on
like.
My finger. I'm gonna need a ring on my finger.
Do you want to lean in?
To the mic? You can look it up. Look up the song. We'll link out.
But there's all of that.
One thing that was very noticeable for me throughout the wedding scenes, and honestly throughout this whole section, and maybe the whole book, but for whatever reason it really struck me during the wedding, Tolstoy is constantly describing Kitty's hands as small.
Oh. Well, no, you reminded me what I was gonna say, which is like, I mean, in a similar vein is like every time that Levin describes being in love with Kitty, he also describes like her innocence, like her naivety,
I
her
guess
like
these are the same
that
point.
she's like that she feels like shamed and like small and all of that. Like those things are so tied together for him. Like anytime he says she's beautiful or I love her, he also says like she's innocent, she's weak, she's not like whatever.
He looked at those tiny frail hands.
Yeah, the shaky, the trembling hands. Yeah. Like it's part of what he loves about her and part of why he thinks she's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, female frailty is good.
Famously, there's
good.
this
Moral.
whore Madonna,
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah. Ever, is that
Say that.
anyone else? Tell us in the comment.
You ever had one?
Yeah.
You ever been one?
Which one are you?
Everybody sound off in the comments. How do you identify? Madonna or whore?
But yeah, I found that very prevalent in the marriage. I guess maybe because Levin is having these feelings of love. He's like looking at her and being like, oh, she's so tiny and like itty bitty.
And like, and trembling like a baby.
Much like a baby.
Much like a baby. Yeah. So all the ladies are gossiping about the outfits, etc. Who's wearing the wrong colors, whether Kitty should have worn a certain hairstyle.
They did not like that chignon.
They sure didn't.
They did not like the chignon on her. No. That was not giving to them.
Yeah, and they're like...
It was not clocking to them.
No, and they're like judging how people are like presenting themselves. They're like, oh, like Levin looks like he's really in it. Like he's really sincere, like all of that. And yeah, that is so entertaining to read.
Beautiful, beautiful party scene almost. Like, I mean, they're not really partying, but we do get the...
Well, he does such a good job in like switching from so many different perspectives.
It's amazing.
Not something you see in many modern novels.
Say that. Call them out.
Well, this is like one of Ursula K. Le Guin's whole things about Tolstoy is she's like, nobody does like omniscient third person anymore.
Yeah,
and this was like in the 90s, you know what I mean? Like she already was clocking it.
Well, and the youth are famously even worse.
Autofiction or
limited. Although we busted that myth. You can check it out on Patreon.
Oh.
Yeah, a little bit.
Solved.
Yeah, no, literally solved.
But it's true.
So then flash to the next level.
Well, yeah, they basically, they get married, they kiss, and then they leave for the countryside.
Yeah, Kitty's like, I'm not doing a honeymoon. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to Europe. I want to start my life. I want to see.
Nest.
Yeah. No, she said ballerina wife.
In a big way, she's ready.
She might be the inspiration.
She kind of was the inspiration. You know she's like sewing little embroideries on the couch.
Her embroidery on gloves. She was like, I just want to see what his life is like.
But
and
Leah, what about a more glamorous couple?
I will say, I mean, I'm always dying to get back to them. Is that, like, I'm just like, okay, blah, 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 blah.
You were blah, blah, blah during the wedding?
No, you know I was loving it. It was sweet. It was sweet. The wedding is sweet. I was excited.
Come on, the wedding banged.
But, of course, I'm always excited to get back
sexy little lover.
The sexy couple. Like,
they honestly,
getting it on in Italy.
Well, are they? Is kind of the question.
Great question.
Maybe not anymore.
I mean,
it seems.
Damn, that honestly would be a fun game to play. Should we guess? Do we think they're still having sex at this point?
I think if you're having this long of an affair, you're still having at least like lackluster sex.
Yeah.
It may not be good. It may not be as good as it was, but like,
right.
You know, he wants to come.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, in many ways. Yeah. I have to imagine at this point that it's getting lackluster.
But
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you think so?
But I don't think it's over. Like, I don't think they're like not fucking.
No, it's not bed death.
No, it's not bed death. But I do think it's like the fights are like generating some. Do you know what I mean?
The fights are generating the good sex.
Basically, it seems like they will like get in a fight and then he'll be like, and then they made up. And I'm like,
and we know what that means.
They're not necessarily fighting, but he's starting to have doubts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but she's like more in love with him than ever. Like she says like a lot. She's like, he's the most beautiful person I've ever seen. Like everything he says, does, every movement, all of his interests are like so appealing to me.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, like I remember getting to this section and being like relieved. I was like, oh, they're doing well. And then we get to like a little bit more of like Vronsky being like, I'm really bored. But like she is still
she's down worse than ever.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. She loves him more than ever.
So they go to Venice, Rome, Naples, and now they're landing after 3 months in a little Italian town where they're gonna, you know, live la vida dolce, la dolce vita, in the Italian countryside. And they immediately run into one of Vronsky's old comrades in the Corps, Golenishev. And they have a little catch up with him. Vronsky's like, you know, here's what I've been up to, blah, blah, blah. And he lets him know, like, I've been traveling with Madame Karenina. And Golenishev is like, oh, I didn't know that.
He knew. He did know that.
He was lying. The man was lying. But he becomes basically like their third wheel for the majority of this trip.
Yeah. And Vronsky is like having these, like, we get a little bit of his like internal monologue around like how he thinks people should be reacting to the knowledge that he is traveling with Anna, a married woman. And he sees Golenishev as like someone who sees it in the right way, which is basically being like, yeah, cool. Like, that's how he wants someone to react. He just doesn't want a reaction. And he's like, that's someone who has like the right perspective on life. And he does note that most of the men they encounter have the right perspective and most of the women do not. So.
Interesting how that works.
Well, yeah. Interesting how that works.
Yeah. We also learn around now, which I thought was interesting, that Golenishev is a writer. And he was like the smartest, like, you know, person in their cohort, basically. He was like number one in the class.
Crit.
And, no, literally, he was number one in crit. He was the top dog. But he's writing this, you know, second part of this book that Vronsky's never heard of, that I had also never heard of. And he's like, you know, launching into this like whole set of anxieties and like stressful things about like how the book's going to be received and like what he's worried about with it. And Vronsky's like, damn, he really fell off. Why is he worried about this? He's so smart. He should be so smart. And it did remind me of like, I don't know, talking to somebody who doesn't write and being like, I'm so worried about this, this, and this. And they're like, okay.
They're like, great problem.
Yeah. They're like, that problem's
They're
so
like, that's kind of silly.
Yeah, he kind of is. I mean, the other thing is that he's just like, Golenishev is like weird now. Like, he's gone a little bit crazy because he goes, what does he say? He like he's talking about his book, blah, blah. I'm not writing yet. I'm preparing the material. It'll be much more extensive and cover almost all the questions. We in Russia don't want to understand that we are heirs of the Byzantium. And then he began a long, ardent explanation. And then he just keeps talking and talking and then is just kind of like arguing with himself. Like, he kind of just like keeps getting himself going, like arguing with like imaginary people. And Vronsky is like, yeah, basically he's like, damn, he fell off. Like, why are you so weird
he's
now?
like, you're from a good family. Why are you worried about what common scribblers, quote unquote, are gonna say?
Common scribblers is crazy. Yeah.
But Vronsky's an artist himself now, so he thinks he has shit to say on this.
Yeah, Vronsky's a painter now. But wait, before we get to that, I do want to read a little bit of like what Anna's thinking about how she's like so happy and and not ashamed. She's like, the memory of the evil done to her husband called up in her a feeling akin to revulsion, and similar to that experienced by a drowning man who has torn away another man clinging to him. That man drowned. Of course it was bad, but it was the only salvation, and it was better not to remember those dreadful details. And then later on, but however sincerely Anna wanted to suffer, she did not suffer. There was no disgrace. She's just so happy to be away from her horrible ex-husband.
For now.
And honestly, the judgment of society. Like, you kind of feel like...
I feel like she's still experiencing some outside stressors and pressures. And
definitely. I mean, you can, as we know, you know, you can never get rid of what's in your own head at a certain point. It's always the society, the cop within, you know?
Iconic line there you are.
Iconic line from Herculine, actually. 10 ways to dismantle your inner cop.
Oh, yeah, your inner cop.
In your head.
Yes. But she does have this, at least she wants to live for the first time in a while. So that's like, you know.
And
also
positive.
For now.
Yeah.
I will say, though, some of the Anna we know and love, the troublesome Anna we know and love, does jump out. So she's talking about how much she loves Vronsky. She says his appearance, changed by civilian clothes, was as attractive to her as to a young girl in love. So she's like loving him. And everything he said, thought, and did, she saw something especially noble and lofty. Her admiration for him often frightened her. She sought and failed to find anything not beautiful in him. She did not dare show him her awareness of her own nullity before him. It seemed to her that if he knew it, he would stop loving her sooner. And she feared nothing so much now, though she had no reason for it, as losing his love. Okay. Sooner is the word that I circled here. It seemed to her that if he knew it, he would stop loving her sooner.
She knows.
It's the inevitability of it all.
She knows.
It's the way she's like, he's definitely going to stop loving me at some point.
I mean, she lives waiting for the end of that love.
She lives in fear.
Which I think is actually quite fair, just given the precarity of, like, there's no legal, you know what I mean? She's used to, like, the conditions of this are otherwise that we're, like, legally bound, and, like, now we're in this thing that, like, has to end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even though the romantic thing would be, like, it's forever, and passion never dies.
Yeah. It's interesting that she's like she like acknowledges that she has no reason to think this way, which is like, yeah, tough. I don't know, girl. But then we do find out that he's kind of bored, but he's not so much bored with her as he is bored with like being in Italy, right?
Yeah,
and like not
but
working.
I think that things are tied. Do you know what I mean? Well, this is like one of my favorite sections, which is about desire, and I think like his desire for so long has meant her.
Yeah.
That
and
now
now
that
he
that's
has her.
fulfilled, it's
Yeah.
like Alexander wept, for there were no more lands to conquer. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
sure.
This is how Anna's feeling. This is how Vronsky's feeling now, on the other side of this. Vronsky, meanwhile, despite the full realization of what he had desired for so long, was not fully happy. He soon felt that the realization of his desire had given him only a grain of the mountain of happiness he had expected. It showed him the eternal error people make in imagining that happiness is the realization of desires. At first, after he had united with her and put on civilian clothes, he felt an enchantment of freedom in general, which he had not known before, and of the freedom of love, and he was content, but not for long. He soon felt arise in his soul a desire for desires and anguish. Like, I guess it's that thing of like, she has been like an object for him, in a lot of ways. Like, I think like maybe that's complicated to put on him, or like a cynical way to read it, but like it's like as soon as it's not naughty or something.
Sure. Yeah. It's no longer forbidden. Yeah. There's this makes me think of two things. One is that Anna says at some point in this section, I think maybe in the section where I was just reading from, she says something like looking at him and like knowing her full ownership of him like delighted her. So she's feeling like the opposite, like having caught him is like good for her.
Yeah.
Whereas for him, that just like opens up space for like another thing to want, which is interesting. It also makes me think of how Esther Perel says that, what did she say? She says that like chemistry or like something is like the combination of desire and an obstacle. Or like she says that's where like sexual chemistry comes from, and like without a desire there's like without an obstacle like that, like sexual chemistry can fall away.
Wow.
And the obstacle is gone for Vronsky.
That is so interesting.
No goalkeeper.
I'm like, is that true? I guess the obstacle doesn't have to be a person. The obstacle can be like some environment, society in this case.
Yes.
Well, and a person. I forgot about.
You forgot about.
I forgot about her husband.
Hardly an obstacle. Didn't put up much of a fight.
No, a little bit of a cuck.
Yeah. Very much loving that situation.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, Grace. What do we think of Vronsky as a painter? What do we think of this? Because he decides to fill this desire for desires with trying to be a painter, which seems like a fun vocation.
Well, he certainly tries. That's maybe the operative word there. It's not like he suddenly becomes Michelangelo or Van Gogh or anything.
It doesn't seem that way.
Yeah.
I think it can be a place where he has a desire.
Yeah,
for sure he's got a desire.
He's got a desire.
And there is an obstacle there.
Yeah, the obstacle.
The obstacle maybe being talent.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to read like Tolstoy's understanding of talent here, I think, because he's like, Vronsky was trying really, really hard to like, he's very educated, he's like copying the masters, but he has no idea that there can be this thing called inspiration, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool to like, I don't know, it's like interesting to apply that to Tolstoy's understanding of his own talent, I think.
Yeah. Where is the section? He says something about like, basically he values over being inspired by other art and about the history of art. He values more being inspired by life, like being inspired by something completely independent of art. Whereas like Vronsky is inspired by like his place in like the history of art and like other people's work, and like he's thinking about like what he wants his work to look like and like whose work he wants it to look like, rather than thinking about, I don't know, he doesn't have like an independent spark for creating art, I guess.
Certainly not.
No.
He does go, the three of them go together to meet Mikolov, who is a Russian artist who's working in Italy. And he seems to be much more talented. I mean, he's a working painter, if a little bit grumpy, but he shows them around his studio, and Vronsky's like, damn, he's pretty good. And it hurts his feelings a little, but...
Always does.
Yeah.
But he says something, like, he compliments, like, one of Mikolov's paintings, and he's like, yeah, this, like, one bit looks really good. Like, you can really see the technique there. And this, like, really spins Mikolov off. It spins him out. He, like, has, like, he's like, okay, technique.
He's like,
so you're saying I don't have talent?
Technique.
He's like, oh.
Wow.
Okay.
You think this is just, like, nothing to you.
Incredible. Yeah, he takes that as an insult. He takes that personally. And then they hire Mikolov to do Anna's portrait, which obviously slaps. Like, it's really good. And
Vronsky had started a portort before, and so it kind of puts him to shame.
Yeah, and he gives up after after he sees what real talent looks like. He gives
Stops
up.
working on his. So basically, they decide to go back to Russia. They're like, this Italy shit is kind of boring us, especially Vronsky.
Oh yeah, I was saying that I found it really depressing.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Tough to be in Italy, like. Get over
No,
it.
but it's
Tough
like
to
to have
have-
no desires.
Yeah,
to have the ennui makes me feel really.
The ennui.
Yeah, I'm
there
like,
is a lot of ennui going on here.
There's a lot of ennui. It's like, yeah, you can be in the most beautiful place surrounded by art, and if you feel nothing and are not in search
Or
of
you can
something,
be depressed anywhere.
You can be depressed.
That's the whole
Wherever
Sally Rooney
you go,
model.
there you
The whole
are.
Sally Rooney model is you go from one country to another, and you're depressed in each one.
and you stay depressed the whole time.
Say that.
Humans are so powerful.
So then we catch up with the happy couple, Levin and Kitty. And he's just kind of shocked that they're just like any other couple.
He's like, we're gonna fight?
Yeah. He's like, as a bachelor, seeing the married life of others, their trifling cares, quarrels, jealousy, he used only to smile scornfully to himself. But now he's in it. He's quarreling with his wife. She's like doing up the house, and that for some reason is like distasteful to him. He's like,
Well, if
He's
you're a
like-
bachelor.
well, yeah. But I
Right.
mean, even like
You're
the
not
fact.
used to it.
Yeah, true. But it seems like the fact that she's even doing that he's
Sure.
like doing these
Has
like domestic.
things.
The fact that he's like, oh, she's just like every other wife. Is,
No, literally. He's like, we were never gonna fight, and she was gonna just be kind of perfect and slot
doll.
right into my and be
Yeah.
a doll, exactly.
And she's never
Actually.
gonna be interested in like linens and like silver. And she's like, no, I'm really interested in linens. And
Yeah,
silver.
right. She's like,
actually,
surprise, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
I've gotta get this shit together.
Yeah.
I've got a nest. And yeah, so they have these kind of little tiffs, but not for some reason, actually. I mean, I think compellingly, that makes him feel even more strongly for her. Like every time they have a fight, it's a reminder that like he doesn't know where he ends and she begins. And making up is like, I don't know, this like strong feeling of like the
Well, it strengthens the bond.
Yeah.
yeah,
When you fight and make up, you're stronger.
stronger
Stronger
together,
For a time.
We build it, Joe.
Yeah.
stronger together.
Yeah, and he just talks about how like hurting her feels like hurting himself. So like their fights will like come to a peak, and then he'll be kind of like, I actually don't want to take this any further. Like I think we should make up, because he doesn't want to hurt himself.
Because they are one. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Then he gets some news. What news does he get?
Oh, his brother, the drunk, is dying.
Oh my
Oh, no, and it's so sad.
His brother, the Marxist drunk, is dying.
Many such cases. Can
His
we
brother,
say.
the Marxist drunk.
Yeah.
No.
And he kind of like, he's like, all right, well, I'm just going to go to his bedside. And Kitty's like, okay, I'll come with you. And he's like, what? No, you're not coming with me. And he's like so mad at the idea of her coming with him.
He's like, how dare you try to come with me?
He's like, you have no idea what we're going to encounter on the way. Like,
Death,
I have to go
pain,
be with
not
my
your
brother.
domain.
No, yeah, a woman would never.
Linens.
Yeah, you can, and plus, I mean, he has a prostitute around. I don't
Yeah.
want my lady wife around her.
Yeah.
Again,
Oh,
the
well, then there's the whole line about the sluts.
Madonna whore. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's literally, right, like, he thinks of
In the same room with a slut already made him shudder with revulsion and horror.
oh, tough. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Poor
he's like,
slut.
he's like,
I'm thinking about the slut.
Think of the slut. Who's gonna think of Masha?
sometimes you have to think of the slut. You just do.
Yeah.
Slut stories matter.
Slut stories matter.
They just do.
Slut walk. Even.
But yeah, he also seems like he's like, it's not gonna be nice. It's not gonna be fun. Like, we're gonna be in a nasty hotel. And she's like, what are you even saying to me? She's like, what? She says something like, why would you attribute those like base thoughts to me? And she's like, I'm your wife. I'm coming with you.
Well, it's kind of like, why do you think that I can't handle that part of life, or like,
Right.
separate from you?
Yeah.
Which again is like so interesting for a misogynist to be able to you know, I think believably pull off. Exactly. But still, like, he attributes this like some version of like a sense of like humanity and resilience to her that I think is kind of surprising for his misogyny.
The human spirit.
Although, as we're about to get to, there's some misogyny maybe embedded in how well she rises to the occasion.
Well, yes.
So they go to this hotel.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's really interesting. He's like, it's one of those ones that are made with the pretense of modern improvement, and by that very pretense becomes still worse than the old hotels that were simply dirty, which I think is...
Many modern echoes of Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, I thought of what is that show, Boy Room? Have you seen this show where Rachel Coster? No.
I didn't know that.
Well, that is the
I thought you
premise.
kept
Grace.
them in their cage.
Yeah. Don't they have? Shouldn't they have crates or? Rachel Coster goes to like nasty like boys' rooms in Bushwick, basically.
Oh, the YouTube show.
Yes, yeah, the YouTube thing.
So it is the premise.
It is the
Cut
exactly.
boys in cages.
That is
Boys in cages. And I thought
boys
of
in
it.
their navy blue cages.
The mattress on the floor. When we get the description of this room, that's what I thought of. In a small, dirty room with bespattered painted panels on the walls. Bespattered! Divided by a thin partition behind which voices could be heard. In an atmosphere pervaded with a stifling smell of excrement, on a bed moved away from the wall lay a blanket-covered body.
Yeah.
This is where his brother is dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good when you're starting to be described as a body.
A body.
Yeah.
It's already
Before
over.
you're, actually a body.
Yeah. So Levin goes to fetch his wife because his husband, his brother, like Nikolai, loves Kitty, and he also is just like getting really stressed in this
He's
situation.
like, this is a little much for me.
Yeah, he's like,
maybe I do need my wife.
Maybe you do need your wife. So then he goes and gets Kitty. There's like all of this like choreography where he's like trying to keep her away from Masha because I guess there must be some convention about like a fallen woman or like a sex worker being in the same room as like a married woman, I guess, because because she's all because it's because it's not just Levin who's stressed about it, it's also Masha. And
well, it's like that's the whole plot of every Dostoevsky book.
Sure.
Is sort of like prostitutes need to be kept separate from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But men want them anyway, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, say that.
Masha is like ashamed to look her in the eye, like she's like kind of trying to keep herself away, and then Kitty is basically like,
Kitty's the only one who doesn't care.
it's okay.
She's like, whatever.
Yeah, she's like, I'm here to help the dying man.
Yeah. There's bigger things to deal with.
Exactly. And she immediately basically walks in and takes charge, and she's like, we got to get him to a nicer room.
Yep.
We've got to clean everything up. We've got to clean him up, and we've got to flip him on his side that he likes to be on, and he's loving it.
Yeah, she basically starts running this shit like
she's
the
doming.
Navy.
No, exactly.
It says, at the sight of the sick man, she felt pity for him. And pity in her woman's soul produced none of the horror and squeamishness it did in her husband, but a need to act, to find out all the details of his condition and help with them. As she did not have the slightest doubt that she had to help him, so she had no doubt that it was possible, and she got down to work at once. Those same details, the mere thought of which horrified her husband, at once attracted her attention. Yeah, so she's just like, there's really no time to crumble in this moment. We have to help your
Her
brother.
woman's soul is uniquely qualified.
Her uniquely qualified woman's soul.
I mean,
Same.
I did kind of, there's a section a couple pages later where, I feel like Levin kind of makes the undergirding of that very clear, where he says, hidden from the wise and revealed unto babes and the imprudent. So Levin thought about his wife as he talked with her that evening. Basically, he's like, this dumb bitch is able to, this dumb, like, innocent person who's a baby is able to access this, like, innate inner knowledge
It's
about
like Earth
death.
Mother. It's sort of like
Exactly. It's very Earth Mother. Whereas
tapping into her matrilineal domestic
secret power. And I, meanwut I'm a thinker who has to like grapple with the reality of death, and it's so hard. And I just
he's like he considered himself unquestionably more intelligent than his wife, and for these reasons he just was not capable of doing what she was doing, which was like feeling the death, like knowing soulfully the death.
Oh my God,
guys, what do we think is actually happening here?
He's incompetent and she's been a nurse before.
I guess she was a nurse before. At the Springs,
it's
right?
like she did this at the Springs.
Yeah.
And she tells him, she's like, I've done this with like sicker people. Who
yeah,
worse.
She does say that. Yeah. I think there's also something that happens when when one person doesn't like rise to the challenge, the other person has no choice but to do that. Like she has no choice.
Well, it's like when one person's scared of the bug and one person
exactly.
isn't.
Oh, that's so
like you think men aren't scared of bugs? Of course they are. But like if your girlfriend is more scared and is scared first, now you have to not be scared of the bug. That's just how it goes.
Can I say something brave?
You're the one
Kevin's
who
scared of bugs.
I'd be killing the bugs.
I do
Say
be killing
that.
the bugs too. I'm coming out as a proud bug killer.
Yeah, this is what feminism looks like.
But note how it's not like two people in a relationship are killing the bugs.
You can't both kill the bugs.
No, and
someone if when one person falls apart or one person's too hungry, then the other person has to be the one to sort of make it happen.
Exactly.
And I think that's what this book is in some ways like about, is like how do you handle those different loads?
Yeah.
In a partnership.
Yeah.
Over time.
Yeah. Or how do you fail to?
Or how do you fail?
Exactly. Or how do you? How are you?
Tolstoy clearly has an opinion on.
Yes. Well, about which arrangement is more capable of letting you rise to the occasion.
Well, it's also very like Kierkegaard's either or, like this sort of ascetic life versus the moral one.
We like one of the first episodes we talked about Vronsky's view of the world in light of the Kierkegaard either or, and I think it holds with like this view of marriage as like either you have like this, ethical life where you have this balance and like, husband falls apart so wife steps up, or you're kind of living this aesthetic life where, you're both like kind of like chasing pleasure and you can't like support each other,
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you guys make of the fact that Levin doesn't step up? Like, why can't he rise to the occasion? Is it just because it's his brother, or do you think this would have been the case if it were anybody else dying?
I think he's a little weak.
Anybody else dying?
I think he's kind of Marxist, bro.
Like, what makes him weak?
Because he's like a thinker. He's an overthinker.
Yeah.
That makes it hard to act.
Yeah,
and he's squeamish. I think he's squeamish about the complexities of life.
Yeah, in a way that Kitty's not. Yeah, he's like not someone who's able to get out of his mind and into his body and like rearrange the room. And I think she's like,
yeah, it sucks, but somebody does have to like mop the floor. Like,
yeah. So
I do think also it's like I don't know, like this is like one of the few times I've identified with Levin where I've been like I'm super squeamish. Like I definitely like fall apart when there's like blood or like vomit and stuff. Like unless I really have to rise to the occasion, I'm like panicking about it.
So the next chapter is named.
But he's very scared of death. He's very scared of death.
Which is the name of the next chapter.
Which is the name of the next chapter.
Oh my God, yeah. Why is the next chapter named?
It's the only chapter in the book named.
Tolstoy doesn't really do named chapters, but Dostoevsky does. Dostoevsky is very into naming the sections of a book.
And here we are in the death chapter.
The death chapter.
It's also not like this is the only death in the book.
And it's also not the biggest or most important. Like, I'm just like, why did this happen?
Well, it's a reflection of their relationship.
True. Yeah.
Like, I get why it happens narratologically.
Well, I don't get say that narratively.
Narratively.
Scatologically.
But I don't get why it's the one that's scatologically named.
Well,
from sickness unto death, scatologically.
Wait, no, sorry. Say more about why you think it's named. Like, it feels that big to you?
No, I'm saying I don't think it feels that big to me.
Oh.
I'm just saying I understand narratively why this happens in the book.
Yes.
And why it's happening here and what it's saying about their relationship.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily understand why it's the one that gets the name.
Yeah.
Can I say, like, my interpretation was kind of like, it seems like he wrote this literally part by part. Like, he was just, like, sending them off, to the postmaster.
Confirmed.
And I kind of was thinking, like, what if he just was like, I gotta write about a certain, I gotta write about, do you know what I mean? He was like, I want to hit death here.
Well, yeah, have you seen his pages?
You think it's a typo?
No, not a typo.
No, but have you seen his pages? Because he has so many annotations.
Yeah.
Like, his pages are crazy, so maybe just, like, a translator or a compiler, when the book got book form, was like, well, it says death on it, so that must be his unerrant word. I can't take it out. But maybe it was just, like, an annotation.
I think he did it on purpose, but I do think... I do think that he just, like, I don't know, anyone else ever put subheadings in and be like, I gotta get to, like, this big topic at this point?
Sure, yeah.
And maybe he just was like, right?
And left it in there. He was like, I love the asymmetry of this.
You know, I kind of am down with that interpretation of things.
That's
like,
really
why
funny.
not?
Yeah.
But we see the death.
Can I read something funny that the doctor says?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, that's underlined in Leah's copy.
Is it? We often have the same ones.
Should we say it out loud?
Yeah.
The
doctor explained that the illness came from fatigue and worry and prescribed inner peace.
So true.
Yes.
That's my favorite line in the whole book.
The whole
incredible.
book?
I think it's up there in my favorite lines in the whole book. It is so funny. Kitty, in the midst of taking care of this dying man,
realizes
she's throwing up and she's, having morning sickness. Mm-hmm. I mean, what could that possibly be? But the doctor sees her and says, I prescribe you one inner peace. And then at the end of the section, right after he dies, I think, is when Kitty realizes that she's pregnant.
Yeah. Reincarnation. Reincarnation. Trisha Paytas style.
Yes, she's exactly. Exactly. It's a little Malibu Barbie situation.
It's that. It's a little beautiful Aquaman situation.
I forgot the other one's Aquaman.
And then there's
Alexi, yeah. We get to Alexi.
I don't care about him that much.
Whoa, but we need to talk about what goes on here.
Know.
It's crazy.
It's crazy what's happening.
Basically, he's like, okay, so he just kind of doesn't know what to do now that Anna's gone. Like, he's kind of like, okay, if you say I'll have to divorce her, I'll divorce her. If you say I have to stay with her, I'll stay with her. If you say I have to, like, whatever. He's like, I'll do whatever anybody wants. But then, like...
And he meets a puppeteer who says, let me rise to that occasion.
Literally the #1 pick-me supreme, Countess Lydia Ivanova, the devil incarnate, comes onto the scene.
She's like, I will give you something to do. Ugh. I'm going to take over the situation, and boy, does she.
Ugh. So, yeah, I mean, there are some, like, great lines here about, like, how Alexi feels like if people know that he's weak, they're going to, like, beat him up. They're going to bully him. Like, he's like, people can't know that I'm, like, sad because like then they're actually gonna all descend like vultures, which honestly gives us another. It's true.
It's
and
real.
But it also gives us a really good view into like his worldview, just the way he sees everybody as his like secret enemy and like. I mean, it's true, but it's not only true, but like for him, that's
there's a lot of people trying to get him to do things.
Sure. Yeah.
Whether that is, Anna.
Yeah.
Polanski, the kid,
yeah.
etc.
His many enemies that he's always referencing.
His enemies.
Those other people.
His ops.
I love this description of Countess Lydia Ivanova. I have to read it and share with you guys. I hope it struck you in the same way because I felt like this was the fastest way to describe this type of woman.
Let's hear it.
Countess Lydia Ivanova had long ceased to be in love with her husband, but she never ceased being in love with someone. She was in love with several people at the same time, both men and women. She was in love with almost everyone who was particularly distinguished in some way. She was in love with all the new princesses and princes who had come into the Tsar's family. She was in love with one metropolitan, one bishop, and one priest. She was in love with one journalist, with 3 Slavs, with the Commissarov, with one minister, one doctor, one English missionary, and with Karenina.
Okay, English missionary. Crazy.
She's bored.
She's bored. She's bored. She's looking for places to pour her love, aka attention.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think she and her husband divorced after like 2 years or something, and since then she
has time.
Like, yeah.
She's frittering around.
Yeah. So basically, Alexi's like his career has stalled because he's not married, or because he's like going through a personal drama. He seems to be like the only person who doesn't realize that for some reason, but everybody around him is kind of like,
you've lost your sauce. Your career is not going where you thought it was going to go.
You don't have the same kind of standing that you had before. There's like this interesting aside where he's like kind of looking hatefully at like some men in a bedchamber who have nice calves who are like happy and like simple and like well built or something, like because we get like all of this background about how he has no friends, like genuinely has no friends, like is unable to connect with people. His brother died and that was like his closest friend. And then there's like one person that he respects at work, but that person like doesn't see him as a friend. And it's kind of sad. And then at one point he says something like, "But in what am I to blame?" he said to himself. And this question always called up another question in him. Whether they feel differently, love differently, marry differently, these other people, these Vronskys and Oblonskys, these gentlemen in the bedchamber with their fat calves. And he pictured a whole line of these juicy, strong, undoubting people who, against his will, had always and everywhere attracted his curious attention.
So good.
I do feel
So
sorry
good.
for
So
him in this
cinematic.
section. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's such a like sweeping. It's so like my life is a movie. What if other people have lives too?
Yes.
You're like looking at the crowd and you're like, wow, they all have their own inner lives I just don't know about.
Yes. And
I gotta say, little gay as well.
Oh, a little very
it's a
gay.
bit gay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's gay, he's gay, and they're perfect together.
Yeah, they're,
You know, she's
that's-
like, I love women too.
Yeah. Men and women, and every prince and princess.
And every prince and
I
princess.
mean, can I say, like, a little bit asexual? Like,
Sure.
because
sure.
like the background that we're getting here is that like he.
Well, maybe that's the whole problem.
Well,
Right.
yes. I think he like struggles to connect with people, and then he says at some point that like, okay, he's basically forced to marry Anna because like Anna's aunt like spreads a rumor that he's already had sex with her, so now it actually would be bad for him not to propose to her. So he proposes to Anna. He's already like well into middle age. He proposes to Anna, and then he kind of just decides to love her. He's like, okay, and now that I've decided to love this person, I no longer have to have other connections with other people.
Well, heterosexuality.
Well,
Exactly.
yes. And
You know?
no, so true, so true.
You don't need friends.
You don't need friends. So yeah, I think like he's like also like these are men who are like virile and like love women.
They
and,
like
have
fucking.
yeah. They love
famously.
and they have these juicy calves and they're like
juicy,
happy and they're laughing and they're like So I
So
think
then-
there's that.
There's some letters.
There's a letter from Anna, who has basically heard from Lydia Ivanova that
Busy
she's
body.
not allowed to see her son.
Yeah, basically Anna sends a letter saying I need to see my son and Lydia's like no.
Nuh-uh.
Her letter is so nasty.
Well, because she's also coming back.
Yes,
from Italy.
yeah, that's right.
She's in St. Petersburg.
They're
yeah.
coming back to Petersburg. She's ready to see her son, and Lydia Ivanova says, no.
And she convinces, because Alexi's like, sure, she can see him. And Lydia's like, no, we have to tell Seryoza that she's dead and she can't see him. And this is the letter she writes. Dear Madam, a reminder of you may lead to questions on the part of your son which could not be answered without instilling into the child's soul a spirit of condemnation of what should be holy for him. And therefore I beg you to take your husband's refusal in the spirit of Christian love. I pray the Almighty to be merciful to you. From Countess Lydia.
Whenever you get, Lord be merciful to you.
No, like God bless
It's
you.
the
No,
Southern,
it's
yeah.
really bless your heart.
And then it says, this letter achieved the secret goal that Countess Lydia Ivanova had concealed from herself. It offended Anna to the depths of her soul.
when I read that letter, I was like, Countess.
Yeah.
Lydia Ivanova.
She's cunt up.
She's Countess.
And then Tolstoy
okay?
confirms, yeah, Countess, indeed.
No, because Anna is offended as hell. Mm-hmm. And she, honestly, she looks at the camera and she says, and I took that personally. Because then she decides to come to the house. She says, I'm going to show up on Seryoza's name day. And we get a little bit from Seryoza's perspective right before that, which is really special.
These parts are really, really good.
Yeah, it's like he's so sad and he still is looking for love from basically every adult. He looks at his teacher and says like, why doesn't he love me? Why doesn't he love me? And where's my mom who loves
Where's
me?
my fucking mom?
Where
And-
is she?
He's like also like not doing well in school because he comes from a broken home.
Stop.
Okay, well.
And he says his father always talked to him, so he felt, as if he were addressing some imaginary boy, one of those that exist in books, but quite unlike him. And he always tried, when with his father, to pretend he was that book boy.
That book.
Guys,
Book
come
boy.
It broke my heart
It's
just
really-
thinking of him lonely there. Yeah, and I don't know. It's like so like this built out world of the child where like every
He's really
adult-
good at doing like a one chapter
Yeah.
to give you another segment of someone in
Like,
the sort of conundrum that's happening.
Exactly. And
It's
like
so
every power imbalance, every like kind of like proximity to
reverberations,
exactly is so thought out.
So
Can I
she
read
gets-
another little section that banged?
Yeah.
The father and the pedagogue were both displeased with Serioza, and indeed he studied very badly. But it was quite impossible to say that he was an incapable boy. On the contrary, he was much more capable than the boys whom the pedagogue held up as examples to Serioza. As his father saw it, he did not want to learn what he was taught. But in fact, he could not learn it. He could not because there were demands in his soul that were more exacting for him than those imposed by his father and the pedagogue. These demands were conflicting, and he fought openly with his educators. He was 9 years old. He was a child. But he knew his own soul. It was dear to him. He protected it as the eyelid protects the eye, and did not let anyone into his soul without the key of love.
Oh, this poor boy.
Damn. Also so amazing. Like, amazing to give a child a soul, you know?
Yeah.
Other people don't write kids
no,
like they have
absolutely,
souls.
I
Yeah.
really don't think there are a lot of novels
Smart
that
things about kids.
Yeah.
kids are objects usually.
Yeah.
Um,
He has oppositional defiance disorder.
it's he has ADHD.
Yeah.
And today he would have been prescribed with Ritalin.
Yeah. And think about that. Okay, unpack that.
Well, Vronsky and Anna come back to Petersburg, and she decides that she is going to go and visit
Sneak in.
her son. And she goes to the toy store, and she buys toys for him because it's
Oh,
going to
is
be
this
his
the
birthday.
question?
This is one of the questions. She bought lots of toys, and then she thought over her plan of action. She decided she would go early in the morning at 8 o'clock, knowing for certain that Alexei won't be up by then. That's kind of amazing.
I love the way they live.
What? She's like, he would never get up before 8. Like, what is this place?
Oh, wait, I also
Dirtbag
wrote LOL
husband.
next to that.
LOL. There's not a chance.
so funny.
Meanwhile, he's like the most productive person in this novel. So I'm like, how late is everyone else sleeping in? Sounds like 10.
Yeah.
Respect.
I mean,
Wish.
you remember Oblonsky.
Yeah.
He doesn't wake up before 10.
Oblonsky rises at like 11. And
Ugh.
then he's like, time for breakfast.
Wow. Time for the love of another woman.
Yeah, time to have sex with someone who's not my wife.
Ugh, and when Seryoza sees her, he says, Mama, darling dearest.
Oh my god. And actually there's a sweet scene like when she's coming in the door where the porter basically is like, yeah, come on in.
Yeah,
Like knows that she's not allowed there, knows that she shouldn't be there, but like kind of steps to the side and like lets it happen.
He stepped up.
Yeah, the father who
The
stepped
father
up.
who stepped up.
Yeah.
And she just has this short, really sad moment where she's crying for joy, like kind of holding him. And he's like happy and he's like, take off your hat. You don't need that.
Oh, it's so cute. They cuddle. Like,
He's like, I knew you weren't dead. I knew you weren't dead.
he knew. And some of the like context of this is that like in a section just before this, there's like a little bit of like table setting around like how badly reintegrating with society is going for Anna and Vronsky.
It's not going good.
Society's open to him, closed to her, and people don't want to see her. Like Vronsky's
They don't want to see
sister
her
and mom,
happy.
they're not trying to see her.
No.
Betsy will see her, but only super briefly. He tries to get his sister-in-law, his brother's wife, to see her, to see Anna, because like their whole social life is just like going to see people, like going to like visit each other. And so he's like trying to get his sister-in-law to visit her, and she's like, honestly, you know, I love you and support you, but like I have daughters, they have to grow up in this society, like I can't be seen with Anna.
I'm about to shame my daughters, you know, if they're around her.
Yeah.
So she basically like runs into Alexei on her way out of the house. Like she runs out and kind of like hides her face in shame, even though she's like revolted to see him even still, which, you know, fair. And she goes back and she's just like so depressed and so sad and lonely. And she does try to go to the opera after this. And Vronsky's like, please, that's a really bad idea. Meanwhile, Vronsky's kind of like bopping around, really happy to be back in the city.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so
He's like, I'm having
Yeah.
fun.
He's like, I'm chilling.
So pretend we look exactly the same.
We do look exactly the same. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there has been
I don't
literally no
have
change.
that on, so.
Yeah. Wait,
I'm
Grace,
Oh my god, yeah. Wait, guys, now you can see Grace's eyes.
for continuity's sake, I do think you need to go get the sunglasses.
We don't want to confuse the audience.
I know. Who is that?
By the way, this is going to make no sense for people who are listening in only headphones. They're going to be like, okay.
That's true. Yeah.
Video is different. There are books behind all of us now instead of
I bet
books in front of us.
Like,
Whoa.
wait, can I say such a funny thing, guys? So my mom was watching the video pod of the last episode, and she sent me a screenshot zooming in on me and Heather's respective bookshelves, being like, LOL, because mine's so messy. Because mine's so messy and Heather's is so
you think yours is messy? Look at that.
I think Grace,
you guys are kind of on
seen.
similar levels. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel seen.
I'm like behind, you know.
And
those
there's the pile.
Those piles go down to the floor. So.
That's the way to live, you guys. We have to be surrounded
so where
by
was
these.
Our darling Anna? I think we pretty much have said everything that had happened.
We had like one last thing to talk about, and I truly can't remember what it was, like where it was that we left off.
Well,
we talked about her.
We talked about the opera and her disgrace.
Did we finish the opera?
I think we were getting to the fact that she went to the opera despite Vronsky being like, this is the worst idea ever.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna go, but you
shouldn't. And she's like, bet. And she assembles this ragtag group of people to go with, by the way. She assembles, like, people who would not be seen in public in general, who, like, nobody, like, all of the kind of, like, island of misfits. She's like, come on.
Yeah, someone's tacky cousin. She's like, let's go.
It's somehow reminded me of, like, Mean Girls or something. Or, like, what, you know, the teen movies where it's like, well, all the losers get together and we're going to go and, like, have our own table when we don't get invited.
No, yeah, it's like the hot girl gets kicked out of her group and she's like, fine, I can get all these losers to go with me. And that's basically what she does here. But she looks good as hell. That's the thing. Not only does she go, she like wears like an incredible outfit that's like exposing. Like she like exposes her whole whatever.
Decolletage. She's got titties out at the opera. That's all. Yeah. All I remember about the dress is that it's low cut. Like I remember it being like it's a low cut dress.
Yeah, and Vronsky is furious that she's showed off her striking beauty to particular advantage. He also says something weird about how like she's like repelling him. Like the more beautiful she becomes, the more repelled he is, which is interesting.
Many men say this to me. You're just too beautiful.
I literally was gonna be like, tell me more. What's that like? I realized
it's not good. It's the like, I'm sorry, I'm better. It's so like, it's so Sabrina Carpenter's new album where she's like, they just call me too pretty, so they don't hate me. They're like, you're too much. You're too much of a woman for me.
Say that. Say that.
I need self-control. I need to be, you know, a better.
And ladies, who can relate?
Who can relate to being called too beautiful? I mean, it's certainly back to the Madonna whore of it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't. 100%. You're too much one or you're too much the other, and you're never the right amount of anything.
No. I found what he said. He said he felt that his respect for her was decreasing at the same time as his consciousness of her beauty increased. So actually, it's worse than I thought. It's his respect for her.
Yeah, it's not even his love; it's his respect. Which also is many such cases. It's like men will not respect.
Yeah, well, that's textbook. Yeah,
cannot be smart.
No,
never.
Wait, so then what the fuck is happening on this call? Yeah. Okay,
we're proving him
reading
wrong.
Russian literature.
Proving him wrong. One book at a time.
But yeah, anything else that's kind of really where things end?
I think maybe it's worth saying also that, like, he is kind of trying to pretend that he doesn't notice her, and she is also trying to pretend that she hasn't seen him, and she's kind of, like, looking intently at the opera and, like, trying to be above it all, and the whole time he's like, I know that she knows I'm here, I know she knows I see her, and I don't know whether I should go. He's, like, ignoring her, basically. And I'm like, you're being a child. Why are you playing these games? You live together. Like, go to your woman. Like, what?
Yeah. And then they, like, make eye contact. He, like, tries to give her a serious look across the room, and then she gives him a defiant look back, which is just, I mean, what else is a girl going to do? Like, as if she's going to suddenly feel shame and leave. Not the Anna we know.
But she does certainly feel shame. And when he does finally go to her, she's, like, so upset and embarrassed because this, like, society woman has been so disgusted by sitting next to her that she's like, I can't even sit here, like, you're repulsive to me, and storms out. And Anna's like, I'll never forget this as long as I live. You're to blame for it all. Getting up with tears of despair and anger.
Yeah. It's weird also because, like, this is exactly the kind of person that Vronsky hates, that he talks about at the beginning, like those stupid people who believe like man and wife and child and house and work for money, etc. But he's kind of deferential to them. I mean, in part because I guess he knows he can't change the laws of the world. Like, he knows it's not going to be good for Anna if she goes out.
He also has internalized those beliefs.
Yeah,
sort
totally.
Of like inherent like self-incongruity that where he like kind of takes it out on her. He's like, he's mad at himself, right? But he
It's so true. And I think also like his internalized different rules about the way that men and women are supposed to act, you know, about, he's like, it's fine for a man to defy those rules because like we have like agency and like we, you know, should know that this means nothing. But a woman, like, it's not becoming. Like, a woman should be like graceful about the rules. Even when I know they don't make sense.
Yeah. Well, that's that. I wondered if, Leah, I know you had this like idea that you presented about like the relationship between Seryoza and Vronsky. This is a big chapter for the two of them. There's that scene where she like is like looking at a picture of Seryoza and then like what I can't remember what it is, but she's like, then she feels like she needs to look at something else and then looks at a picture of Vronsky. I don't know. What were your thoughts on those two people in this chapter?
I think this is like the chapter or the section that we've kind of been building towards when it comes to the lack of object permanence for her between Seryoza and Vronsky. Like, she can only have one object of her affection. And I think in Italy, like, we see that really strongly. She's like completely dependent on Vronsky. She's so in love with him. And she is like more kind of like obsessed with getting his love and affection than ever when she's not around Seryoza, even though she's kind of like does not give a fuck about her new kid. She's like sort of like whatever.
She's basically like, this is a good replacement for him.
Yeah she's like, okay. But then as soon as she's in front of Seryoza and she gets it in her head in Petersburg that she has to go back to him, suddenly like the only thing that matters is the love of her son. And you're right, there is this scene when she's back at Vronsky's house where she has the picture of Seryoza up, and I think his friend comes over and sees the photo or sees her looking at it, and she hides it really quickly. She's like, for some reason, like she can't have other people see it. Is that right?
I'm looking at page 538 and 539 where she's like looking at this. Okay, well, another thing to put this in context is that like she's with Vronsky in St. Petersburg, but Vronsky is out and she's home. So she's always like, where is he? Like, where is he? Where is he gone? And these are the conditions under which she decides to just go and see Seryoza. And then, so she's like looking at this picture of him, of Seryoza, and she says, she's like looking at the picture. She's like, this is his best, most special expression, with her small deft hands, which today moved their thin white fingers with a particular strain. She picked at the corner several times, but the picture was stuck and she could not get it out. As there was no paper knife on the table, she took out the picture next to it. It was a picture of Vronsky in a round hat and with long hair, taken in Rome, and pushed her son's picture out with it. Yes, here he is, she said, glancing at the picture of Vronsky, and she suddenly remembered who had been the cause of her present grief. She had not thought of him once all morning. But now, suddenly, seeing that noble, manly face, so familiar and dear to her, she felt an unexpected surge of love for him. But where is he? She says.
Wow.
So weird.
Oh my God, that is so true. That is like the most explicit version of it, where she literally is taking the picture in her locket.
Get one picture out without taking the other one out.
She has to, like, the thing that she wears on her heart, like the true like object of her love, is like being replaced one at a time. Like, there's really only space for one.
Yeah. Well.
What do we think Tolstoy means to say about that? I mean, is that just like further characterization of the kind of person she is, the kind of relationship they have? Or is there something larger about like heterosexual relationships that's like, you know,
something like
motherhood? Yeah, exactly. Like motherhood causes you to see things in this way. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I also think he's not going through it from like such a. Yeah, he would never probably say heterosexuality. He would sort of say like, I'm writing a psychological novel about the interior lives. Like, I think so. In some ways, maybe his motives were not so, or not only gendered, even though so much of his like work is sort of in a psychoanalytic way working through gender and straightness. But he didn't know there were other options.
Well, or did he? Or those thick, juicy calves. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
No, yes. Much to think about the thick, juicy calves.
I mean, it's something.
Well,
yeah. I think also just knowing what he's like about women, I'm just like, is it a comment about motherhood? Is it like something that obvious and straightforward about like a woman who's, you know, still pursuing like love outside of the home can't be a good mother or something
exactly
like that. Because with Dolly we see the opposite, right? Like she gives up on romantic love and devotes herself to her kids, and Anna's still pursuing her feelings, and so Serioza just gets swapped out in the locket.
He gets the boot. It is. That's so true. It's like this false choice presented, basically, of like, you're either a good mother who subjugates her right to like passion and love and romance because her kids are her true romantic love.
Right.
Or you're a bad mother who betrays her kids for that. Real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, who are we?
Oh, yeah. Who am I in this section?
We've got to tag ourselves. I mean, Grace, our lovely genius guest, would you go first? Would you tag yourself in this section?
I'm Anna at the opera. In particular.
Defiant? Say more.
Oh, I think both Defiant, wearing a lovely gown. I made Heather go and like, I was like, find that passage.
Yeah, what was it? Yeah, because she was wearing a lovely gown.
I love to know, and I think like Tolstoy does really know to have a turn of phrase for like gowns, even though like you don't always know exactly what they look like. You do, like you have like a strong impression. So even when he's not always giving you like, this is the exact color, this is the exact like material, this is what the bodice looks like, you're still like, I see a vision. So both the sort of like being embarrassed in front of a lot of people, who hasn't been that person before, by a man, come on. And then also being mad about it, or sort of like, this is unfair, also been there, you know? That's
it is so unfair. I mean, this like really broke my heart.
Yeah, not to say it isn't, but I also think she's, and I relate to this to some degree, she's also like a little bit of a like, she wants to complain, you know, like rightfully so, but to some extent, right? Like there is this sort of like, like when people are like, oh, I hate annoying characters, I'm like, I like them because it makes me feel less alone.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, in different ways.
Yeah. No, you're right. Because it's like, it is so deeply unfair, and she knew it was unfair and put herself there, you know?
100%. She is
like, who hasn't been there? Like,
yeah, she has shown us time and again that she is someone who moves toward the conflict, not away. She wants to get into it. Yeah. Okay, Leah, tag yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna shock you, actually, I think I'm Levin.
Oh, you pick Levin in the section where he's like the sweetest, nicest. Like, whatever. Like, oh, you're Levin now?
No, but specifically, not at the wedding, not anywhere, but I'm specifically Levin when his brother is dying and he cannot get his shit together. And I have like a super embarrassing story about this, actually, that I was remembering after we talked about it yesterday. I had a friend, amazing. I'm not going to name her because I'm like, this is a medical situation. I had a friend, and she'll know who she is, who had an allergic reaction. And she had her EpiPen on her, and I was freaking the fuck out. I was like, I've got to call 911. And she's like, it's okay, just like stab me with the EpiPen. And I'm like hyperventilating. I'm like on the floor. I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. She literally had to stab herself with the EpiPen. I did not rise to the occasion. I literally feel ashamed and embarrassed to this day. Okay, and I in that moment when Levin's like, I can't even like be around this, I'm so panicked about death. Like I felt that really hard.
That's fair. No, I'm also that. I'm not like that. Not like the EpiPen situation. Like if someone gave me instructions, I think I could follow them. But his like squeamishness around the whole thing and just being like, this is too much. Like I can really, I can relate in a big way.
Is he you this section? I mean, or do you have a different?
Okay, let me try to diversify.
Yeah. Because you stay consistent with him. You and him are like this.
He's like always like doing what he's just like me for real.
Yes.
Let's see. There's like a section. I want to find the description so that I'm not saying this in a way that feels obnoxious. But what was the name of the artist?
I was thinking you're so Mikolov.
Is it Mikolov?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Why do you think I'm Mikolov?
Because when Vronsky was like, I love your technique here, like it's amazing, and he's like,
oh yeah, and then he was gonna kill
just
himself.
my technique. Oh, so you don't think I have talent? Like
I can see Heather saying
that. That's so real. Thank you guys so much.
To be known is to be loved.
I was seeing myself in him more like he's just like so greedy for compliments in that moment when they come into the studio, and he is like on one part at one point he's like so disdainful of these people, like he thinks nothing of them. He's like, they don't know art, but yet he's like overjoyed when they give him compliments. And I'm like, anyway, I've talked about my special condition with compliments, which is that like when I get them, I black out from joy. And I become really easy to manipulate. Like that's his truth. Like he literally is like every time they say, he's like, I hate these people, their opinions mean nothing. And then they're like, we really like your painting. And he's like, no, exactly.
No, literally. Wait, is that so true? Isn't he like supposed to be closed, or he's supposed to be painting when they come in? He's like, I'm not even showing people around the studio.
Yeah.
And then they just say one nice thing and he's like, well,
come on in.
He
like sees an opportunity for positive feedback. He's like, words of affirmation? Yeah, come on in.
I'll take them.
So yeah, I'll say that. And also, yeah, he just like, yeah. I briefly vibe with him. I hope I'm more pleasant than him though, because everybody says he's not a vibe, and I hope I am.
I think he is a true vibe. It's just the other people he's around are annoying. Do you know what I mean?
He's secretly a vibe?
I think he's secretly a vibe. He's having to deal with the most annoying people. Like, you know.
That's true. Like entitled rich people who are like, let us into your studio. That's
exactly.
Annoying.
And being like, we think we know about art. Meanwhile, like he has actual talent, and he's like,
wait, guys. Everybody sound off in the comments. Is Mikolov secretly a vibe?
Absolutely a great question.
Just found out Mikolov's a vibe.
Okay, well, I think that's our show. Besides, we have one last thing.
We've got one more segment.
Yeah, we've got one more segment.
We've got a couple of Nabokov questions.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, maybe some have seen our TikToks. We have one popular TikTok. It's not even viral.
And maybe you've seen our TikTok. Our TikTok video.
But for those who don't know, in every episode of the book club, we do a little pop quiz inspired by Nabokov, who would give very specific questions on his exams about Tolstoy to test students on how well they like recalled the fine details of the world. And so we're going to go through and ask each other if we remember these details and how well Tolstoy made them stand out.
Period. Okay. My first one is, what was Kitty's hairstyle that people were gossiping about?
I remember this. Grace, to you.
You can't do this to me.
Oh my god, no, these are hard as hell.
They're hard.
Okay, but I do remember
annotations. I saw.
I know.
No,
we reread.
No
times.
We're being teacher's pet about this, that's for sure.
No, I mean,
and you're the teachers. You're the teachers and the pet. It's not fair. The odds are stacked against me. And you also know the answers to the questions because
we're asking
them.
Do you know what would be fun, Grace? Just guess.
I'll guess. Okay.
Just guess.
I'll be honest.
What was the hairstyle?
I'm going to say it was like a lesbian bowl cut.
Yeah.
Wait, that's exactly what they said.
We need to make a clip of that. She had a lesbian bowl cut for the wedding.
And that's why they were so upset, because they were
like, damn, it's too early for that shit, girl.
They were like, at least do a shag, okay? Do like a wolf cut, you know? We are more accepting of that.
They're like, they thought they were going. They were like, we thought this was a straight wedding, and they're finding out it's gay.
Guys,
so that's tough.
Like, and what is gay, by the way? It's new to them.
Say that.
Okay, Leah, you got one for me? Hit me.
Okay. Well, first, I think, although I love the idea.
Wait, did you reveal the answer?
It's a chignon.
Oh, it's a chignon.
And actually, the amazing thing, Heather, is that I also flagged that as as one to ask people.
Come on.
We didn't even ask each other. Okay.
No.
I have one. This one's hard. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anna has a nickname for her little son, Seryoja. And she says it to him as she's saying goodbye when they have their secret visit. What is that nickname?
What's his real name again? Is it Alexei?
Seryoja.
His real name is Seryoja.
Or
That's not a nickname.
Sergey. Sergey is like his.
Sergey.
I think so.
It's her little soldier.
I love that. I love that version. That would be amazing.
That's my guess. I can't remember.
Kutik.
Period. It's Kutik.
Say that.
It's Kutik. Yes. I just remember being like, that's so cute. It's giving Q-tick.
What does that mean?
That's so cute.
Not a clue. I actually did not look up what it means. In my head, I was like, it means cutie pie. Like,
let's see.
And this is why, sorry, random tangent. I don't know why this is coming to me, but this is why, like, that one study we read, they don't read very well was so wrong. You don't need to know what every word means.
You don't. I really
famously
think
you don't. That's crazy. Do you know how long it would take to read a book if you had to stop and look up every word you didn't know?
And that's how you learn new words. It's famously
quite literally how you learn words.
So you know what? I'm not embarrassed that I don't know what kutik means.
Well, okay. And so and yeah. Okay. The night before the wedding, Levin goes to a bachelor's dinner. His friends are being crazy about, like, how he is about to, sign away his life. And, like, he must have cold feet because now you're basically going to jail. And your wife is never going to let you go bear hunting. And he's, like, down so horrendous. He's like, honestly, I love the idea of my wife stopping me from doing anything. Like, I would happily never see a bear again. His one friend cannot fall in love because he is already in love with which animal?
Oh my God. I vaguely remember this conversation. Damn. Oh
boy.
Oh my God.
Dog.
I don't even really know what this animal is. Like, really. I need to look it up.
Wait. It's a random ass animal? Is it a skink?
It's like something that I kind of know what it is, but I kind of don't. Okay, a hint. It lives in the ocean.
Isn't it like a food he's eating or something? Aren't they eating like shellfish or is it?
You're so close.
You're so close. In general.
Oysters. Is it oysters?
No, blank fish.
Or fish. Cuttlefish. Cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish.
It's cuttlefish.
Yeah.
It's cuttlefish.
Yeah.
Woof.
Are they're eating cuttlefish, right? Or something?
People do that. They're disgusting.
I don't even know if they're eating it or if he just, like, cuttlefishes. Or he, like, and he's, like, writing about them, too.
Cuttlefish Julia.
Oh, so he's really... He needs to do Cuttlefish Diary, like Horseshoe Crab Diary, for the Paris Review, which we will link out to. Fabulous piece by Grace.
Speak on it. Okay.
This one's really easy. Golenishev thinks that people should stop drawing which religious figure?
Jesus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm scared.
I was like, trick question?
He's like, people have already figured this one out.
Yeah. Oh, that conversation is so funny.
Okay, last one. So there's some women at the wedding who are complaining about a woman named Marie wearing what color, which they say is almost like black for a wedding.
Yellow?
No, it's like actually almost like black.
Gray?
But like not almost.
Charcoal?
Like,
It's like, is it a specific word?
Yeah, it's a color. It's like a color that we know and love.
White?
Is almost like black?
Well, in the sense that it's like, you know.
In the sense that we are all one.
We are the world. We are the children.
Yeah, so in that sense, yes.
Is it navy blue?
Maybe not a great question. It's purple. It's purple.
I said purple.
Did you say purple?
Roll back the tape. I said purple is one of
my
my...
god, okay. Roll the tape. Grace said
Roll the
purple.
tape. Roll the tape.
Stunning.
Well,
wait, Grace, you did amazing for someone who didn't study.
Literally.
Specifically for these random ass questions.
I say 100%. 100%.
I say that too. I say front of the class, top of the class.
Top of the class.
Valedictorian.
Amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
What a fabulous episode. What a fabulous section in this book. Mm-hmm. So much happened.
So much.
And Grace, we are so grateful to you for coming along for the ride.
No, thank you. Amazing.
Now everyone order Herculine immediately.
Period. At the
almost
link.
as Herculine.
Herculine is crazy.
Herculine.
Beautiful.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Love you.